G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life. And viewers of the channel recently will know that I've done one of the latest WRX STIs and one of the old STI type RAs. And in my mind, compared with the Mitsubishi equivalents, I know it's a controversial statement, but in my mind they were the better cars. I've driven an Evo 5. While it was in immaculate condition, the drive was pretty underwhelming if I'm honest, and the Evo 10's interior alone, and then the unbelievably harsh suspension, the very rudimentary dual clutch, was enough for me to say no thanks. However, the Evo 7, 8 and 9 are from the 2000s, and I am assured that these are the golden era of Mitsubishi evolution. And today, we're going to see if that's the case. Apart from the last Evo 10, all Mitsubishi Evos used the 4G63. This Evo 7 came out in 2001 and then was replaced by the Evo 8, which looked much the same in 2003. The 4G63 in this particular one makes 206 kilowatt or 280 horsepower, although that is the gentleman's agreement figure, so it's possible that from factory these made a little bit more, and 380 Newton meters of torque, which is right up there with modern hot hatchbacks like the Civic Type R and Golf R. The power is going through a 5-speed manual transmission because of course this was the late 90s when this car was developed, and it's going through Mitsubishi's SAWC system, or Sport All-Wheel Control. Because the engine is transverse, it's definitely more of a front biased system, but it can send a significant amount of power to the rear wheels to help with sliding through gravel corners on a rally stage. Modifications to this one are fairly extensive. It's sitting on coilovers to help with handling, it's got a strut brace there at the front, and of course it has a much larger intercooler with all new intercooler piping along with a Tomei exhaust. And finally, the interior. Fortunately, this Mitsubishi is from before the partnership of Mitsubishi and Renault, when in my opinion all of their interior build quality went completely out of the window. The Momo steering wheel feels like it's actually solidly put together. The gauges have a nice crisp red backlit theme to them. The build quality of all of the switchgear feels nice. The temperature knob, when you turn it, doesn't wobble around in your hands. Everything fits together nicely. The seats, very aggressively bolstered. They have hardly any cushioning in them whatsoever, so I can imagine on a long trip they would be rather uncomfortable, but they look absolutely fantastic, and they match the seats in the back, which is great. Rear legroom, excellent. You can fit your mates back here, no trouble whatsoever. This ACD button here, or what I believe is the active center differential button, will allow you to change it from tarmac, gravel and snow, which kind of like with the latest Corolla GR can send different amounts of power to the front and rear to help change the driving dynamics of the car to your liking. But overall, I've got to say, the Evo 7's interior and exterior is by far and away the best of all of the generations of Evo. Driving the Evo 7, first thing I noticed is on coilovers, this thing is really stiff, and the clutch is hard work to say the least, but let's see how fast this thing is, eh? That reminds me of the Type RA, just those short gears and the raw, relentless power. That is incredible, but the best part about it is that while it's certainly not quiet or refined in here at all, but 100 Ks, you're sitting at 2,500 RPM. It's interesting, eh? Been driving this thing now for sort of 10 minutes in traffic, which I guess is going to give you the worst case scenario for driving one of these things, as I have an STI blatantly pull out in front of me. But I must admit, it's not bad. The clutch is hard work, but the gearbox is nice. Steering is not too heavy. The ride quality is actually surprisingly good. The seats are not bad. There's quite a few rattles on the interior, I must admit. So it's definitely not a refined experience. But let's be honest, no one's really buying an Evo to daily drive. They are buying an Evo to thrash it on some back roads. Whoa! Oh, it's fast, eh? Oh, the handling is good. But it definitely pushes at the front end. Through that corner you could feel, I was turning the wheel, and the car was going straight. And with the short gears, you can always be in the power. But yeah, that's really interesting, eh? When you come on the power, the car understeers, which is a little bit unnerving. I'm interested to see if I put it in, say, gravel mode, does that change anything? Oh, there we go. That's more like it. Yeah, see, there you go. When you have it in gravel mode, it must send more power to the back because it solves the weird understeer problem. And now, oh yeah, now it's just absolutely hauling through the corners. Well, there we go. We've learned something new about the Evo 7. If you want to be fast on tarmac, put it in gravel mode. Because yeah, in tarmac mode, it's weird, eh? It has a tendency to sort of push. It feels like the front wheels are kind of dragging. This is definitely the best Evo I've driven. It's the perfect blend of raw, fast, engaging driving experience, but still with a hint of refinement, at least in certain areas. And man, it's fast, eh? Whoa. Trying to be gentle on the clutch. There we go, that was better. You just gotta work with it, you know, the clutch teaches you to be smooth. This thing is great, it's really good. Put it back in gravel mode, yeah, see, look at that. You can lane change at speed, under throttle, and yeah, it's just pulling you through. That's what we like to see. I suppose there are two very important questions. As an Evo, it's brilliant. It's a better drive than the Evo 5, which was a little bit lackluster, and it's more nice than the Evo 10, which is a very harsh, kind of nasty car, if I'm honest. I know the Evo fans are gonna hate me for saying that, but the age-old question is, first of all, is it better than the STI? That Type RA is still the holy grail for homologation rally cars, in my opinion. It was just that little bit sharper than this, and it had that incredible all-wheel drive swooping sensation. I would have to say the STI is still better. And then the next question is, would I pay 50 grand for one? And to be honest, I don't think I would. It is very good, but I feel like for a lot less money, and I know everyone's like, oh, you love your European cars, but genuinely I feel like for a lot less money you can get something European that won't be quite as raw as this, but will be just as fast and just as good to drive for less than half the money. But my opinions aside, the Evo is a truly remarkable car, and again I come back to the fact that you could walk into a dealer in 2001 and get a car that was this raw and just explosive to drive 25 years ago is remarkable. It's a fantastic car, genuinely sensational. While I wouldn't necessarily buy one myself, I think if you did and you had the money for it, then you'd be very happy. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.